My name is Jim Lewis. I'm a resident of Greensboro, member and volunteer for Conservatives for Guilford County. My role today will be to serve as moderator for the press conference. The central theme of today's press conference is grounded in our rights as a people. That includes you fine folks as well. We are protected through the Constitution of the United States, the law of the land, the law of the Republic, specifically our First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, or of the press. The First Amendment is simple, fair, and impartial rather than biased or prejudiced. A little background on what we called this press conference. October 20th, 2011, a citizen of Guilford County, Ms. Jody Riddleberger, during a 3-minute public comment period, played a video as part of her presentation to the Board of Commissioners. Chairman Alston indicated his displeasure with the video as an unpaid commercial for candidates, a personal opinion of his. Further, he remarked that going forward, the county should screen videos for content. Important to note that Chairman Alston had a long history of making derogatory comments about the organization that Ms. Riddleberger co-founded, Conservatives of Guilford County. On December the 1st, 2011, Ms. Riddleberger did speak during the public comment period, but was barred from showing video footage of the commissioner's work session from November the 3rd, 2011, where the vote was taken to ban multimedia videos on that particular time. January the 10th, 2012, the board retreat for the county, attorney Mark Payne presented a new policy relating to placing items on meeting agendas. A sentence was added that stated, "The guiding principles for any item to be placed on the agenda is whether it is necessary or it assists in the board performing its duties." Further, Mr. Payne recommended changes to the board's rules of procedures, including a new provision that created an agenda review committee and that chairman would have full authority to appoint and review committee members. Subsequent to a series of actions taken by the county and orchestrated by Chairman Alston, Ms. Riddleberger has taken a position that her First Amendment rights and potentially those of others have been blatantly violated. During that, further, that Chairman Alston had claimed unilateral empowerment to pick and choose agenda items without public input, reflecting significant personal favoritism over the needs of the county. Consequently, Ms. Riddleberger contacted the American Civil Liberties Union of North Carolina, or commonly referred to as the ACLU, to initiate the process of validating her position. January the 27th, 2012, a letter from Catherine Lewis Parker, legal director for the ACLU, was sent to the Guilford County Board of Commissioners with copies to the county attorney, Mark Payne, with a request to receive a response by no later than February the 10th, 2012. Ms. Parker's letter detailed a factual background, legal analysis, and conclusion that clearly indicated that the new Agenda Review Committee violated the First Amendment and that the ACLU strongly urged the board to reconsider the actions taken to ban multimedia presentations during public comment periods. And finally, the unbridled discretion given to the board and Chairman Alston, seemingly content-based or viewpoint-based decisions that went too far.
Thank you all for being here today, and thank you, Jim, for bringing us up to speed. My name is Jody Riddleberger, and I am a Greensboro resident. I'm also co-founder of the Political Action Committee, Conservatives for Guilford County. I am very concerned about the blatant violation of our constitutional right of freedom of speech by some members of the Guilford County Board of Commissioners. After I showed my video on October 20th during the Speakers from the Floor portion of the Board of Commissioners meeting, which promoted conservative candidates in the City of Greensboro elections, the county commissioners moved quickly to ban all speakers from the floor from playing videos during their 3 minutes at the podium. Keep in mind, I broke no rules. Up until this point in time, speakers had been able to share whatever was on their mind. I've heard people promote their businesses, sell Girl Scout cookies, and ask for county money. Never before were there any rules for this portion of the meeting other than the time restraint of 3 minutes, and of course no threatening speech was tolerated. The ban was approved during a poorly publicized backroom meeting where a quick vote to restrict all multimedia happened within an hour and with no time for public comment. All this occurred after the county attorney, Mark Payne, warned the commissioners to proceed with caution over and over again. To be clear, multimedia productions are still allowed for people who are placed on the commissioner's meeting agenda. So as a result, I attempted to go through proper channels to be added to the commissioner's meeting agenda to show a video dealing with the unfairness of the multimedia ban. I was informed via email from the county office that Chairman Alston denied my request with no explanation given. As an American citizen, I am very concerned that governmental officials can willfully quiet your voice if they don't agree with your viewpoint. And I thought, if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. From my firsthand experience as a regular attendee to the Guilford County Commissioners meetings over the last 2 years, Chairman Alston and several other commissioners on the board have made it very clear that they do not like our group, C4gc, and what we stand for, which is fiscal responsibility. Now it feels like they've had enough, so they've enacted rules to quiet our voice. I've believed my whole life that my speech is protected, and yet now I find that if an elected official doesn't agree with my point of view, he can usurp his own authority and shut me down. And frankly, I'm not going to stand for this. In the wake of their decision, I've asked the board on several occasions to do the right thing and reverse their new multimedia ban, and yet they wouldn't listen, consider, or discuss the issue. As far as they're concerned, it's over. Well, it's not over for me. I contacted the North Carolina ACLU on Thursday, January 19th. I sent a request for assistance through the ACLU's website with all my documentation. Katie Parker, the ACLU's legal director, called me within a couple hours and expressed that she was very interested. And she promised that she would get back with me after a couple days. She did call me a couple days later and simply asked, "Why didn't you contact me about this months ago? This is crazy." That was her quote. This is so concerning to me because I feel like I have a lot of fight in me. I have a great support system, so when some of the highest officials in our county decide to steamroll over my rights, I was able to speak out against their wrongdoing, knowing that so many wonderful, capable people had my back. My concern comes when a Guilford County citizen is discriminated against by this board and they don't have the kind of support system that I do. What will happen to them? It's not right for any elected official to make a decision in complete contrast to one of our founding freedoms and feel entitled to get away with it. I am so thankful that the ACLU has stepped in to intervene and moved to get the Guilford County Commissioners to see the error of their impulsive judgment so as to remedy the situation with a simple reversal on the multimedia ban. To Chairman Alston and the Board of Commissioners, I say please remember that you represent all the people of Guilford County under the constraints of the Constitution. You cannot misuse the power loaned to you by your citizens in order to silence those of us with whom you disagree. The First Amendment wasn't put in place to just protect the people who were saying the kinds of things that are easy for you to hear. It was put in place to protect all of us, especially those of us who have a tough and sometimes unpopular things to say. Thank you.
My name is Jeff Phillips. Just to give you a brief history of the Conservatives for Guilford County, and it is brief, we've only been active for the past 2 years and have sought to advocate for fiscal responsibility in our county. From our beginnings, the Guilford County Board of Commissioners has greeted our members with contempt. In 2010, Republican Commissioner Steve Arnold mocked our requests for fiscal restraint with condescension and arrogance. Commissioner Kirk Perkins challenged our group to find opportunities to save money in the county budget. In doing so, he waived an overnight delivery letter that cost our group $15 and called it wasteful spending. He apparently did not understand the difference between public tax money waste and the rights of individual citizens to spend their own money any way they choose. As a result, in May of last year, Conservatives for Guilford County presented the commissioners an alternative to their proposed budget. The People's Budget identified $72 million of potential savings for our county. The Spending Reform Summit hosted by C4gc proved that regular citizens had a solid grasp of the county's spending. Our efforts changed the conversation in our county about government spending. In response, the commissioners presented a new budget at their very next meeting, which was promptly voted on and approved the very same night. The 2011 and 12 budget not only included additional spending, but also a property tax increase for Guilford County residents. In the last 15 years, government spending by our county has increased 95%, while the population growth has only been 16%. Our group of private citizens did not go away. We continued to advocate for our cause because we believe in and advocate for limited government, just as the framers of our Constitution did, and just as our commissioners pledged by oath to do the same. It's ironic that we're here today fighting for the rights guaranteed to us by our Constitution, knowing that governments would at some point try to control the people by exerting power over them. Our framers created the Bill of Rights to protect the citizen from the whims of the government official. The First Amendment reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances." And the 14th Amendment states, "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws." Let me end by asking the citizens of Guilford County to let their commissioners know how they feel about the First Amendment and its protection. Please call, email the county, make your voice heard before it's too late. The county's main line where you can ask to leave a message for your commissioner is 641-3383, 641-3383. Thank you.
Are you guys planning any kind of legal action over this matter?
What we're requesting is that the county commissioners, Chairman Austin, rescind that video ban and open up the speakers from the floor to the way it has been before our group started showing up at commissioners' meetings. At this point, that's all we're asking for. We're hoping that they will the commissioners will do the right thing. They have a meeting tomorrow night, and we hope that they will bring it up in their new business and rescind the ban. Thank you.
Jeff, well, I have a strangers a bit, fellas. Can you talk to that for a second?
Well, our group advocates for limited government, constitutional conservatism, and certainly we embrace the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and our Declaration of Independence. And the ACLU, where in certain instances we may disagree, embraces the same thing.